Welcome to the 22nd Annual Family Cafe. Although we would prefer to meet with you face-to-face in Orlando, we are excited about this opportunity to share with you some helpful information that we hope will help you as a parent. We know that parenting is a difficult but rewarding job and applaud you for taking the time to view this presentation. Welcome to 1, 2, 3, Breathe. The Florida Diagnostic and Learning Resources System, FIDLERS, provides diagnostic, instructional, and technology support services to district exceptional education programs and families of students with disabilities. Service centers include 19 centers that directly serve school districts in the areas of child find, parent services, human resource development, and technology. In addition, the FIDLERS network also includes 6 multidisciplinary centers who focus on in-depth evaluations and several statewide projects offering specialized services. FIDLERS is a wonderful resource to families. Today's presentation is brought to you by FIDLERS Sunrise, which serves Polk, Hardy, and the Lake Wales Charter District. Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." The same is true for our children. It is important for us as parents to seek to understand our children and be careful how we react to certain situations. We need to be mindful of our actions when we need to remain calm to de-escalate certain behaviors. Today, we're going to focus on 3 reflection questions. We will do a deep dive into these areas of reflection. For now, think about these 3 reflection questions. What does feeling safe look like for your child? What does feeling loved look like for your child? And how can I use this information to prevent my child from being triggered or to de-escalate when they are triggered? These 3 questions can be linked to the brain states. Look at the part of the brain that is colored in red. That's the brainstem. This area of the brain is where safety needs are met and represents the survival state. In order to make sure the survival state is soothed, we must create a safe environment for our children. Now look at the blue part of the brain. That's the limbic system, which represents the emotional state and is concerned with being loved. When your child is upset and emotionally distraught, the only way to soothe the limbic system is through connection with your child. Now look at the green part of the brain. That is the prefrontal lobe, where executive functioning takes place. This executive state helps with problem solving and learning. This brain information is helpful as you may be able to identify what your child is experiencing and address the behavior based on the brain state. We are going to walk through each area of the brain and share what happens in that area of the brain and some of the behaviors that you may notice. We will first look at the red part of the brain known as the brainstem. This part of the brain is known as the survival area and meets safety needs. This brainstem area is engaged when under threat. Our primitive behaviors began with the fight and flight reflex. It is an automatic response to outer stimuli. When our children's safety needs are threatened, we will observe screaming, yelling, throwing, hitting, kicking, spitting, and even running away. We wanted to make a mention of the difference between a frustrated behavior versus a tantrum. A frustrated behavior is a response that occurs throughout one's lifetime, whereas a tantrum is most common from about the ages of 1 to 3 years of age. A frustrated behavior is when a person acts out in an attempt to change an outcome. For example, wanting mom or dad to say yes instead of no. However, a tantrum is usually the result of sensory overload, of being tired, hungry, hot. Some of those are possible reasons for a tantrum. Now we're going to look at the blue part of the brain, which is the limbic system, and is the emotional part of the brain. The limbic system is the emotional part of the brain and deals with relationships, attachment, motivation, and attention. When our child does not get his or her way, a parent may observe crying, fussing, and whining. The child may focus on negative thoughts and could even resort to blaming others. Children may adopt a finite mindset and may use words like always, never, or no one, everyone. Children often use negative self-talk or guilt to get what they want. The green part of the brain is the prefrontal region of the frontal lobe. This area is known to regulate executive functioning skills. The prefrontal region of the frontal lobe deals with executive functioning skills. What are executive functioning skills? These are the functions of the brain that control behavior and attention. Executive functioning skills include impulse self-control, working memory, planning, and organizing. Children are using executive functioning skills to express how they think, what they feel, and how to problem solve in the world around them. We need to observe our children and notice which area of the brain in which they are operating. Let's look at a suitcase. We have to have a suitcase that can handle the different places and conditions that it travels. It has to have safety features. Brainstem. When we open the suitcase, we want to be able to put items that connect to where we are traveling. Limbic System. When we arrive at our destination, we want to be able to choose the items we want to problem solve and pick items from our suitcase that fits our day. Executive skills. Look at the suitcase analogy for the safety state. We need to make sure that the suitcase can withstand the environment in which it travels. We have to pay attention to where it is going and the dangers that it could face. When students are in the brainstem, safety state, we can take the following actions. What can parents do? Parents can make sure that the child is not in physical danger. The question to consider, is anyone hurt or going to get hurt? Maintain your composure. It takes time and patience to know if your child wants physical touch or space. Keeping your voice and body language calm is helpful. Make sure your child knows you're there and that you understand that this may feel scary and out of control. Assess the child's wants or needs. Remember, managing frustrations and tantrums takes practice. Look at the suitcase analogy for the connection state. We consider where we are going and sometimes have limited options about what we can take to our destination. What can parents do? Maintain composure, provide parent-generated choices, consider visuals and limiting number of choices. However, sometimes choices are not an option. Respond with little or no affect, repeat short instructions, acknowledge responsive behavior by moving forward. Look at the suitcase analogy to problem solving. We have a packed suitcase and need to problem solve what items we need to explore our destination. What can parents do? Be proactive. Only set rules you need. Offer consequences and rewards in which you can follow through. State rules positively. Instead of don't run, say walk with me. Be consistent and pre-teach the rules. Do not wait for an incident to occur. We hope that the next few slides will provide strategies that you can implement immediately. Many of you are already using these effective strategies. If you are, we hope that these strategies will validate the ways that you are interacting with your child. When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where your power is. As parents, we have to remain in control as we cannot always control what is happening. It is in these situations when we download calm and keep our composure. We can't stress the importance of composure. Manage your reaction to your child's behavior by remaining calm. Your escalated emotions will heighten emotions of your child. Know your triggers and also your child's triggers. One of the ways to maintain composure is through breathing techniques. Parents can benefit from breathing techniques, and breathing techniques can be taught to your child. Breathing can be calming both for you as a caregiver and for your child. Look at the pictures. Breathe in through the nose like you were smelling a flower. Blow out of the mouth like you were blowing out birthday candles. These steps can be taught to your child and you, as a caregiver, can put them into practice. Note, the effects of deep breathing do not work immediately. It has to be a part of you and your child's calming down routine. The website, Coping Skills for Kids, explains deep breathing exercise that you can use with your child. There are many apps that help to download Calm. Many apps are available. We have listed a few that have worked for parents, just like you. These are MindMeister, Calm, Headspace, UCLA Mindful, and Smiling Mind. As the parent, you are the captain of the ship. Your children rely on you for basic human needs, but you are responsible for so much more. Being calm and assertive sends a very clear message that results in trust, independence, and reduced anxiety. As you can see from the examples above, it is important to be clear and concise when giving instructions. Asking your child to do something gives the impression that they have a choice. Be sure to avoid this type of language if what you are wanting your child to do is something that is not optional. Instead of saying, "Do you want to take your medicine?" you may instead say, "It's time to take your medicine." Establishing and maintaining routines is essential in managing behavior. A routine allows the child to learn what to do in a given situation and allows them the opportunity to predict what is coming next. This helps reduce anxiety, therefore reducing behavior. Routines should be established in all mandatory day-to-day activities. These activities should include getting ready for school, mealtime, getting ready for bed, etc. They can be broken into smaller routines for specific tasks, such as brushing teeth and toileting. Children naturally become accustomed to the way we do things and are relatively quick to become independent in some or all of the routine. When this happens, we can start to practice dealing with changes in the routine. This should be planned and done in small steps with parent support and coaching. There are many free websites that you can use to create your own visual schedules, such as the one on this slide. Additionally, there are many schedules online that have already been created and are ready to use. Sometimes changing the thoughts we have as parents or caregivers can make a big difference. For example, your child typically argues when they are confronted about their behavior, always wanting to have the last word and never owning up to what they have done. You, as the parent, do not like talking back or disrespect and have noticed that it is your trigger. It immediately makes you angry and frustrated. Knowing that you need to talk to your child and being able to predict their response, you need to change your thoughts about your trigger to something calming and endearing. When your child talks back, use your own self-talk to say, "I'm grateful they can express how they are feeling. I'm going to continue to walk away or take a break until I can approach them and we can both communicate calmly." You may have to do this multiple times at first, but eventually it will serve as a reset for both of you. De-escalation has to be modeled by parents first. Set the example for your child by living it. It was said, children learn more from what you are than what you teach. As parents, we can show children what we want them to do. It is important to model, and model some more. It is also important to verbalize problem solving. Let children see you not get your way and even fail at a task. Practice to deal with disappointment. Let your child see how you problem solve a disappointment or failure. Talk through the problem out loud as you solve the crisis. Words have power. Think about what you say before you say it. We are concluding this presentation with parent resources that you can access easily. These online resources may help you as a parent or caregiver. Aunt Bertha is a website which allows you to search for free and reduced cost social service programs in your zip code. Understood.org is a free online resource in English and Spanish that is aimed at providing families with the practical tools and advice for their child's academic, social, and emotional journey. The Center for Autism and Related Disabilities, CARD, provides support and assistance with the goal of optimizing the potential of people with autism spectrum disorder and related disabilities. There is also a website for the Florida Autism Center. Vroom provides science-based tips and tools to inspire families to turn shared everyday moments into brain-building moments. Pacer provides individual assistance, workshops, publications, and other resources to help families make decisions about education and other services for their child or young adult with disabilities. Lesson Picks is an easy, online, and affordable way to create unlimited custom visual materials. Another resource is Touch Autism, which began building mobile device applications in 2010 for children with special needs after discovering how incredibly useful this type of technology can be. Since 2003, Common Sense has been the leading source of entertainment and technology recommendations for families in schools. Parents Without Partners provides single parents and their children with an opportunity for enhancing personal growth, self-confidence, and sensitivity towards others by offering real help in the way of discussions, professional speakers, study groups, publications, and social activities for families and adults. Child Help USA is a hotline that offers crisis intervention, information, literature, and referrals to thousands of emergency, social service, and support resources. This slide shows the AARP Foundation Grandparent Information Center. Thank you for joining us today. The Fiddler's Fin Center that services your district is available to help parents and students with disabilities.